Hi, my name is Peter Erikson, and I'd like to introduce you to the social media app Meetup. It's big here in the Bay Area and other large urban centers, but even if you're from Timbuktu, there's a place for you since so many gatherings are virtual, including one I'll be telling you about from Beirut. In the age of Zoom, anything is possible. Meetup is made up of more than 20 categories, from outdoors and sports fitness to music, games, and careers in business. And each includes a host of groups that specialize in different things. One outdoors gathering coming up will explore Petaluma, not far from where I am. They'll take an evening stroll downtown and along the riverfront, and will also visit historic homes. Other groups go on backpacking and hiking excursions. Some meet to play soccer or do track and field workouts. Impression management theory. This idea is based on Irving Goffman's 1956 book, The Presentation of Self in Everyday Life. And though it applied only to face-to-face communications originally, it was expanded to computer-mediated communication. And that's what we can see with Meetup, where everyone wants to stand out as time is limited and talking points compete. Some people look clearly uncomfortable, fidgeting, failing to smile, while others gravitate to the spotlight. The moderator of one Meetup gathering that I attended, while older than others, radiated intelligence and knowledge, and even youth in their own way. She offered suggestions to everyone and commanded respect during the networking event. We're all performers in the end. Here's a gathering that I joined, Bay Area Professional Career Growth and Development Community, a mouthful, from Santa Clara. It's got 1,261 members, some of whom I met with virtually during a nationwide networking event recently on Zoom. Several of us represented the Bay Area, while others were from places like New York, Boston, Houston, and Florida. We met in small virtual rooms and changed often, allowing us to meet everyone. We all gave an introduction, which is a nice way to practice your elevator speech and say what you're looking for. I said that I'm a longtime journalist who will soon be seeking work in a different communications industry. My profession is cratering, so I must try something else that lets me use my writing and editing skills, perhaps PR or content marketing. Or do I want to be a spokesperson or media liaison? One person from this gathering who works as a coach asked me to call him. As you can see on this slide, it's easy to search for events. The discussion you see about going back to school at any age and getting a degree is from one group that I joined, Bay Area Career Network. You can see a calendar where it's easy to search for gatherings on a certain date, and above that is a search window that lets you see, say, every event within 50 miles of San Francisco. Below are a couple of other meetings, including one, Shut Up and Write. Click on that group, and here's what you get. Yes, a lot more detail. The hosts of this meeting are listed, as you can see on top, and a note adding that it will be held at Maxfield's House of Caffeine on Dolores Street in San Francisco. These creatives first meet over coffee, then write for an hour and 15 minutes, before stretching their legs and getting more coffee, which you can never get enough of if you write all day. You may be noticing by now that it looks like relatively few people attend some of the meetings, but as the events draw closer, it may be hard to find a spot. Here's another group that I joined, Bare Bones Communication of San Francisco. That means on Mondays for the weekly Here and There show. Host Luc Bouchard will interview subject matter experts who can be entrepreneurs, consultants, inventors, or university professors. Here's the nationwide event I spoke of earlier. Plenty of people to talk to. That's the moderator at top left. And it went very well, each person getting a good opportunity to speak. Here's a couple of more looks at that same meeting. Here's where we're moving to smaller groups, so it's easier to see somebody. And here's one more. This is a very small group. This was just, as you can see, 4 people. Important use cases. If you're looking to connect with people and explore job possibilities, Meetup will work well. You can ask for advice while playing off people's strengths. I won't find any other meetings of the print news media in these meetings, but communication is still part of every business, so there will always be someone to help. Even if you're just looking for friends or in-person activities to take part in, such as in sports, Meetup works well. Evaluation. The app is so simplistic in design that you really can't go wrong. It's difficult sometimes to see who you're speaking to when there's a crowd of faces on Zoom. It would be nice to not only see each person's name in large type, but also what they do for a living. Otherwise, one is at a loss to figure out who to reach out to. You can type in your email address or other information in very small type at the bottom of the screen, but the only way to access it is to look on the side for comments. As for the highlights, we already touched on some of those, such as the number of virtual events. It makes you feel as though the world is a much smaller place, because one can gather with almost anyone, anywhere. It's intuitive for that reason, simple to use, and a way to get out of your house, at least virtually. As the pandemic is likely to stick around for a long time to come, meetings like this are a godsend. Here's the group that I mentioned before, Beirut Startup, Idea to IPO. It's got 469 members. And how do you attend? It's online, so it's very easy. This tech gathering talks about all things Silicon Valley and how to create the next big thing. Organizers make a great point, noting that a company can be started anywhere, and that many, such as HP, Intel, Apple, Microsoft, Cisco, Oracle, Yahoo, eBay, Amazon, Google, and Facebook all started with just an idea. And now look at them. Has a very diverse membership too, with entrepreneurs, technologists, engineers, venture capitalists, angel investors, educators, financial professionals, corporate executives, attorneys, academics, bloggers, writers, creative content creators, and even social activists. So that's it for this group. But again, it's tremendously easy to use, and give it a try.